Hello everyone, and welcome back to this Lord of the Rings Minecraft mod adventure. I'm Left Click, and we are getting the fuck out of Mordor. Mordor seems cool. The Morgul Vale is, I think, so far my favorite. We may have to explore further. I think the next thing we want to do is maybe try going to the Crossings of Poros, head east to the Mountains of Shadow, to Nonangol. But we're not going to do that right now. Right now, we're going to head to the Dead Marshes, because I want to explore them. Because the Dead Marshes is where Frodo and Sam encountered the... I think that was the first time they encountered a ring wraith that was flying on the flying mounts. I think Tolkien described them as fell beasts, but they're basically like pterodactyls. They have leathery wings, they have bird-like faces. They're basically pterodactyls. Is how I always imagine them. You guys can disagree or agree, doesn't matter, but that's how I imagine them, and that's how um anyone who grew up before the Peter Jackson films, like if the Peter Jackson films came out when you guys were a little bit older, and you guys probably grew up with the Rankin Bass films of Return of the King and The Hobbit. That's what I grew up watching, and well, like I grew up reading Tolkien, but I also grew up watching those films. And those films, man, I thought they were cool, and also because they were filled with songs. Because Tolkien, fucking loves his songs, and they adapted a bunch of Tolkien songs into the films because it's Rankin Bass, and they like putting songs in their movies. But not only that, they wrote some of their own songs. Leave Tomorrow Till It Comes is a emotional song. I like it a lot. Um, there's a song about Samwise the Strong where Sam puts on the ring, or he holds the ring and he wants to be, the savior, and he imagines what he could do with the ring, but he ultimately decides not to. I don't know. I like those films a lot, and they're in this sort of cutesy style. And in that film, I think it was in the 1980s, they did the Return of the King film, where Rankin Bass only did The Hobbit and the Return of the King because they, I don't think, had the rights to the Two Towers and the Fellowship, which is weird considering that those are two volumes of the same book, so that if you had the rights to the third volume, you probably have the rights to the other two. I don't know. It's a weird situation to be in. But anyway, we're going to follow this road through North Ithilien to the Dead Marshes. Now that we got to Dagorlad, it's empty. Nothing's here. I'm not going to explore it. I don't feel like boring you all. But anyway, um, there's also a film. So in 1977, Rankin Bass made the Hobbit film, and in I think like 1978 or sometime similar, Ralph Bakshi. I don't know what else he's done, but I remember him distinctly for making that really weird rotoscoped film of it was called The Lord of the Rings, but it only covered like the Fellowship of the Ring and then like maybe half of the Two Towers. It ended there was no Battle of Helm's Deep, and well, I mean, I think the Battle of Helm's Deep happens in the Two Towers, and it only went up to Gollum, I think, before they went through the Dead Marshes, is I think what happened there. But anyway, um, that film already existed, so Rankin Bass was like, we're not going to make our own, we're not going to make our own like Two Towers and Fellowship films. We're just going to do the Return of the King. And in that film, the scene where Eowyn fights the Witch King, the Witch King comes down and, pulls back his hood, and it's just a crown with nothing underneath, just like the book. It was cool what Peter Jackson did, where it was just this crown-like helmet that was too dark to see what's inside. But I like the I like the Rankin Bass version because it feels more true. And the Fell Beast there, instead of being like a dragon or wyvern like the Peter Jackson films were, it was more like this bird-like creature, and it had these leathery bat-like wings. It was so cool looking. I thought it was really dope when I was a kid, and it was pretty cool to the book. And Eowyn, was cool, but honestly, the story was almost all about Samwise and Frodo. The Peter Jackson films, I think, did a good job in making you care about every member of the Fellowship. Like, Aragorn had his own journey to go through, which is a central part of the books. You cared about Boromir. You cared about Legolas, Gimli. You cared even about Merry and Pippin. You know, and but honestly, in the Return of the King, it was basically just Sam and Frodo with occasional things happening elsewhere. That was it. I mean, Merry and Pippin were in that film, but they were just like, we are talk pieces for exposition. We are hobbits and we do wacky hobbit things. And we say, hey, that's Eowyn. That's King Theoden's niece. And she wasn't supposed to come to battle, but she is here. Where because they, that film was what, motherfucking 90 minutes long or something like that, I think, is how long it was. They really had to condense a lot of things in Return of the King. They couldn't make it 4 hours and 20 minutes like the extended version of Peter Jackson's film was. So, you win some, you lose some. Alright, we're in the Dead Marshes now. Notice all the... Oh, geez. I immediately fall into Quagmire. This is cool. So, let's put this Quagmire block away. Okay, so, in the Dead Marshes, you'll notice these lights that appear. Let's see, can we... Is there a point in the Dead Marshes that we can fast travel to? No, that's upsetting. There's also these dead bodies that show up. Really interesting, just like the books. Well, not just like the books, it's Minecraft after all, but I think it's a great way to interpret that that this mod team did. It's having actual lights and like little flame particles show up in the water with these dead bodies. Now, you'll notice if we fall in the water that we might summon spirits of the marshes. Let's go past the Quagmire. Hup. Let's get to a somewhat safe place. I think right around here is fine. And I'll go in the water and I'll show you what I mean. Uh-oh. Oh, geez. So there's a spirit of the marshes. And I believe it fires these like orbs of astral energy at you. It's kind of weird way for the mod team to interpret the spirits. But the point is they go away once you leave the water. There it is. You can't fight them. They stay as long as you're in the water, and they linger for a little bit once you leave, but they generally fade away after like maybe 3 or 4 orbs. There you are. Alright, now these blocks are, I believe, like ancient loot blocks, basically, or ruined blocks. I'm not sure what they're called, but we're gonna go mine some, because I want to find old shit, like Gondolinian stuff, or maybe High Elven stuff. I don't know. I think that's what you can find in these blocks. But the first things first. We are going to throw some seeds away in the Quagmire, and we are going to block off this area as an excavation site. I believe you have to use a shovel to mine it. And, okay, I'm correct. So, a shovel is what's used to mine it, and what you get from it is ancient sword tip, sword hilt, or armor pieces. So, let's put these in our tools and armor. To move all this other crap out of the way. Throw that there. Alright, so you have ancient sword tips and ancient hilts. I believe, I don't know what these blocks are actually called, but once you mine them, you get this stuff. Ancient armor plate, there we go. And I want to mine as much of this because I want to show you what happens when you combine them into a usable form. Because I think what you can do is you can craft them together and it'll form some kind of equipment. I think by default it's either Gondorian equipment or High Elven equipment. I'm not sure. Okay, let's get these guys out of the way. Alright, bada bing, bada boom. 2 buckets, that's enough for me. Let's mine the crap out of these. Bada bing, bada boom. Wow, this is much easier than I remember. I remember the Dead Marshes being somewhere when I first started this mod. I did not want to go anywhere near. But nowadays, it's fine. I mean, it's not really like Mordor. So last time I was in the Dead Marshes, I believe Mordor orcs were fucking everywhere. But maybe it's because it's daytime. They haven't spawned right now. But I remember Mordor orcs making this just so much more difficult. But there's no Mordor orcs here, which I'm very thankful for. Let's keep mining some stuff. I want to get enough armor plates to make a armor piece. And I think we have enough for a sword. So let's throw that there. Let's put our elf bone in our nature. Elf bones are so long. Look at them, and they have this like bluish light to them. Ugh. Troll bones. I like what they did with all the bones too, making them look distinct. I don't know. Mod really, gets me. All right. So sword hilt, sword tip. All right, let's use all these. I believe you can just use a regular crafting table for them. So you take a sword hilt, take a sword blade, take a sword tip. Again, ancient sword. Now observe what happens. The ancient sword, I take it out, put it in my inventory, and I right-click it, and it becomes a Mordor scimitar. So I right-click the ancient blade, and it automatically becomes some kind of weapon from where this battle is. So the forces of Mordor, maybe I can get Black Uruk stuff from it. But it's a great way to get just a bunch of new weapons, honestly. Or armor, which I'm going to do here because we're running out of pants. Ancient leggings. They don't offer any protection right now. I can't equip them. I right-click them. Boom! Gondorian leggings. So those in tools and armor. And that's one more piece for our Gondorian set. Wunderbar. We have a lot of time until we can fast travel, I believe. I eventually want to go to the Black Gate and go to Udun. We got 19 minutes. So, let's see. Nindalf is down there. Let's start heading south to Nindalf. And along the way, if there's any ruin blocks, or whatever those blocks are called that have that stuff. Ooh, what is that? Oh, I should have used shears to pick that up. It was like a black, withered little plant. That was really cool. These are rotten logs. Did we already figure out what rotten planks look like? Are they cool looking? Hold on, let's find out. Rotten planks. It's whatever. Wonder what a rotten door looks like. That's something I want to find out. Put our crime table down there. I want to find out what all the doors look like in this mod, because everything has a door. Oh, it's just an oak door, but gross. That could be cool. Maybe if I make like a witch's hut or like a hag's hut or something. For anyone who plays Dead by Daylight, this seems like the kind of thing, if you want to make the steamboat from the hag map, like the backwater swamp, if you want to make that, I think that'd be a cool option. Hup, duh. There we go. Man, that's cool. I think finding rotten logs is really easy. You can go to basically any heavily forested biome, especially ones that are near evil regions, and you can easily find rotten logs. I can just go up to the Uruk Highlands, get some rotten logs, easy peasy. I think Fangorn probably has a lot. That's something I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Fangorn, and we just never got around to it. God dang. Let's see. We could go to Emmenmuel, and then from there go to Nindalf. We can maybe save all Nindalf journey for later. It's gonna be a while. We could go to Mount Methedras and go to Fangorn that way, because I think that's the closest point. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go to... Hup. Okay. We're in a bad spot. Time to brave the spirits. Hopefully they don't abuse us with orbs. Oh, jeez. Jukes. Jukes. That's interesting. If I stay in the water, no new spirit... Never mind. I was going to say, if I go back in the water, no new spirits come. But I was proven immediately wrong. It's weird. Maybe I have to be close enough to... So let me put down a test. Okay, let's go inside. There's a spirit there. I go back in. No new spirit. I go far away. Come on, let me go far away. Okay, it slows me down. New spirit. Okay. So, maybe if I go a sufficient distance away, it spawns a new spirit for me. That might be what it is. I want to figure out the spirit spawning mechanics. Are they technically spirits? Like how they're described in Tolkien? I don't know. They're basically spirits. They're ghosts. They're fucking ghosts. Everyone knows that. It's just a matter of figuring out what they are. Okay, let's go here. Dirt. Boop. And let's see. Armor plate. Let's put that in tools or armor. We are running out of stuff. We could make one more sword. Nah, I don't want to make this too crowded. Let's just collect all the stuff we have, and then we can maybe later we can display all of our swords and armor pieces and stuff somewhere else in our house. But right now, let's keep it in ancient form. Uncrafted ancient form. Because I think that'll be our best bet. Oh, jeez. Juke someone without even looking at them. Absolute skill on this channel, lads. You think that just because I haven't played this game in a long time, and that I've died several times in Angmar, that I'm bad at this game? Not so. I am amazing at Minecraft. Like, just kidding. I honestly, like, if you put me in an actual PvP environment, I would immediately fail. Especially with the new combat system where you can't just spam left click. But it's fine. Let's munch some apples. Let's see if we can get some freaking food in North Aphelion. That's what I need to do. Maybe we can hunt some cows or something. I don't know. Okay, some rabbit. That's good enough. That'll be some food at least. Yeah, rabbits, maybe some deer. You know, be like the old days when you had to hunt your food. Ooh, berries. Fuck that. Gonna slam some of these little boys. There we go. That's enough to keep us going for a little bit. Alright. In the meantime, we'll maybe hunt some deer and rabbits and stuff. But berries, there's something. They'll keep us alive, if anything else. You don't want to be eating berries as your sole food source, because that's just a bunch of sugar. And the minute you run out of berries, you will crash super hard. And your teeth are just going to be so gross because all the plaque buildup. So fruit, although it's nice, you got to supplement your diet. All right, kids? That's what I thought. Papa left click teach you about nutrition. Now, speaking of nutrition, orcs generally eat a lot of maggoty bread, which I guess gives them protein to make them big and strong. But they also, you know, eat whatever they get their hands on. Orcs are known to be cannibalistic, so I guess they like eating people. So, that's a lot of protein. What vegetables do orcs eat? Do a lot of vegetables grow in Mordor? Like, I know there's cereal grains that are grown to make the bread for the troops, and I think those are made all in Nurn or some other fertile regions. But I don't think that there's any, like, leafy greens, you know? Like, you know, people, the free peoples of Middle-earth, they have lettuce and cabbage and probably some other things that I don't recall. And they have tomatoes, you know, good vegetable sources. They probably have, you know, root vegetables, of course, potatoes, carrots, turnips, radishes, perhaps. Rhubarb is not a root vegetable, but it's, you know, is rhubarb a fruit or a vegetable? It's sweet. Is it an herb? Hold on a second. I need to figure out what rhubarb is. I'm gonna be, don't mind me, I'm just gonna be holding W in space. I'm gonna figure out what rhubarb is. Hold on. Hey Siri, what is rhubarb?
Here's some information.
Rhubarb is a vegetable. It's basically like a stalk. Okay. The whole plant is called a rhubarb. Historically, different plants have been called rhubarb. Okay. Short, thick rhizomes. Okay. So, rhubarb is technically considered a vegetable. Okay. The fleshy, edible stalks were cooked and used as food. So, there's stalks of. So, the plant is in the Polygonaceae family, which is known as knotweed or buckwheat. They're a very large family of plants. I think they're. Oh man, so rhubarb is only the real one that's eaten of that family. Weird. Okay, so rhubarb is, I guess, a vegetable. It's a plant stalk. So I think artichoke hearts. They're not plant stalks. They're buds. What are their plant stalks? Celery is plant stalk. Celery is a vegetable. Therefore, rhubarb is a vegetable. Which begs the question: since rhubarb is very sweet and is used in pies and tarts and things like that, it's basically baked like a fruit. So culinarily, it's probably still a vegetable, but it's a vegetable masquerading itself as a fruit. A tomato is a fruit masquerading itself as a vegetable. So, if you ever have friends and they're like, well, if tomato is a fruit, is there any vegetable that is... Well, if tomato is a fruit that's considered a vegetable, is there a vegetable that's considered a fruit? And you tell them, botanically, obviously. I mean, cucumbers are considered botanically a fruit. But culinarily, rhubarb. That's what I'm saying. I wish they added rhubarb in this mod. I'd love to make some rhubarb pie with the Hobbit. My grandmother, my American grandmother, that is, she apparently is a huge fan of rhubarb. I never had any of her rhubarb, fixins, but she she apparently enjoyed the fruit quite a lot. I have no idea what rhubarb tastes like. I've never had rhubarb in my life. I don't know why I'm talking about rhubarb that much. Oh yeah, this topic. Yeah. So what kind of vegetables do orcs eat? Do they have any fiber in their diet? And if not, their digestive systems are just gonna be hell. Like they're not gonna have many bowel movements. Maybe that's why they're so angry. Because they don't have regular bowel movements. Because they don't have any fiber in their diet. Because Sauron's like, no, you will not have adequate nutrition. You will just eat calorie-dense cereals and proteins in order to become strong, and so I don't have to feed you that much. That sucks. Sauron should really, be cracked down on by the FDA. You know, because if you're gonna feed people, I think you have to have a license to do that. And are there any? So the Geneva Conventions are for warfare, right? Do the Geneva Conventions cover how you treat your own troops? I know that it covers how to treat enemy troops. Like you're supposed to take prisoners, doing the no quarter strategy of anybody you see will be killed, you will not take any prisoners. I think that's against the Geneva Conventions. Does it cover how to treat your own troops? I know you can't get child soldiers, so that's recruitment practices. But does that cover how you deal with troops that you already have? I don't think so. Because if so, it should cover like forcing prisoners to fight for you. Is that against the Geneva Convention? Like taking a bunch of people from the prison system and putting them in the army? I think that might be somewhat sus, but I don't know if it's technically condemned by the United Nations. Man, there's so many things that I need to figure out to compare Tokyo. How would the societies in the Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion and all these places, how would they stack up to modern societies? Many of them are absolute monarchies or confederations, in the case of the Rudar Hillmen and stuff, or chieftaincies. Um, Sauron, Mordor, is basically functionally a military dictatorship, or maybe is it a theocratic dictatorship? Because Sauron is basically like a lesser Maya. He's a Maya. He's basically like a lesser angel. Well, angel is a strong word. He is essentially a otherworldly entity that took material form. He is a Maya, and which are a kind of Ainur. Ainur are basically spirits, like extra-worldly entities that aren't tied to material plane. Okay, we're in Athelion now, which means we should be right next to Nindalf. Good. So I think that Sauron would be considered worshipped by the orcs, I think. Is Sauron worshipped by orcs? I would think so. Okay, Boar's gonna fight back, as they should. So, if Sauron is worshipped by orcs, does Mordor count as a theocratic dictatorship? I don't know. Okay, where's this other boar? I need to slam you, so I can take your meat. Hello? Oh, okay, there you are. A little bit of lag. It's fine. It's probably... What is fighting me? May have been lag damage. There's something else that fought me right after I killed that boar, and I don't know what it was. Oh, geez, it's a Mordor invasion. Well, time to leave. I'm not about this. Yeah, Mordor's over there. Nope, I'm going to Nindalf. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Well, Nindalf is not my home. If I lived in Nindalf, that would just suck. As far as I know, I think Nindalf is just a marsh. I don't remember for sure. Let's see. Nindalf. Okay, let's see. That is Athelian Wasteland, so Nindalf should be to the west. Almost directly west of us. We need to start getting some food, lads. Our berries are almost run out. See, I told you. You just go through berries nonstop. They're small, they don't offer you much nutrition, and they don't satisfy you because they leave you with a sugar rush and the sugar crash afterwards. I'm telling you. Okay, this is Nindalf. I knew it was some kind of marshy land. Here we are. Oh. Wet Wang. That is a very funny name. Let's kill these Aurochs for food and leather. Then we can be on our way. Oh, let's put our food. Let's put that in there and put our nature in there. Wonderful. Where did I put our leather? Are you serious? Mordor's here as well. Oh god, they're right there. Uh-oh. Time to leave. Oh, sheep. Hello. You are mutton. Potential mutton is what you are. There we go. Let's put that there. I don't think these waters in Nindalf will affect me the way the Dead Marshes is, so I don't know why I'm jumping over them. I think it's habit, because I was just in the Dead Marshes, and now I'm in just avoid the water mode, you know? Alright, well, let's cook up some of this food, and maybe we can go... We could go north to the Black Gate and go down to Udun. But that was just going to be more Mordor stuff, and we already know what Mordor is. It's not a fun time. And I'd rather wait until maybe we have some troops with us. We could go back down to Fairfell. Oh, gosh. I am stuck in here. No, I'm not. We could go back down to Fairfell, turn in our quest, because I think if we're trying to... Did I just drop my red book? God damn it. Hello? Did I drop it? How did it go? Did I drop it in, like, the quagmire or something? Hello? Where's my red book? This sucks. Alright, lads. Well, I think it's time for me to, I think I could probably go back to Fairfell and have killed enough Mordor spawn to do that quest, and then maybe I'll get some... Do I have enough gold on me to make a new book? I don't. I have to melt it. Oh no, it's right here! I'm dumb. Alright, let's see. Spawn of Mordor, spawn of Mordor, spawn of Mordor, spawn of Mordor, Gondor brick. Easy peasy. We could go back to Fairfell, although I do want to travel other places. So, how about next time I cook up this food we got, we go to... Let's go to Fongorn. Let's go to Mount Methedras. Let's go over to Fongorn. And from there, we can go back to Fairfell and turn on our quests. That sounds good. Well, oh Jesus, excuse me. Don't listen to Noldor propaganda. The kinslake was not justified. I'll see you in Fongorn, friends.